Welcome, everybody. Woo! Welcome to the second of probably many transfer news shows here on TJ Warren TV, and I got to tell you guys, I am gassed.
Oh, yeah.
I am gassed. I'm going to let everybody go here in a second, but I want to big up everybody in the chat real quick. Tony, Mr. Post Office, everybody who's here. Mr. Post Office, he's not holding it up yet, but it's looking good, my bud. It's looking good, my bro. It's looking good. I will say I was wrong. If Declan Rice comes to Arsenal, which right now it's looking like it's a very good prospect that is going to happen. The only thing that West Ham and Arsenal have not agreed on is the payment structure. The price has been met with $100 million over 5 years, which unfortunately they're going to want more of that up front, which I think Kroenke can do. And what was it? 15 million in add-ons? Five.
Our bid was 100 plus 5. Yeah,
100 plus 5. So we got 100 plus 5 million in add-ons for Declan Rice, a potentially world-class player. Are you Dal? Are you doing this to me? What are you doing?
No, I'm doing this because we're spending $100 million on someone who scored 5 goals last season.
He's a CDM. He's a CDM.
Now you're feeling.
It's a good signing. It's not going to get us a Champions League trophy.
Okay,
yeah.
It's so much money to spend. It's so much money to spend. I'm not trying to be, a fucking banker and bean counter like Wenger. But the fact that we're spending $100 million on Declan Rice, Josef Fofana, Llorente, Zubamende, Casado. Let's go get 3 players for $100 million.
Yeah.
It's just too much money for a good, above average good player in a shit team of West Ham. So let's put it in real perspective.
Well, you got to put it in perspective too, though, Dal. He didn't have people around him. Now he's going to have people around him.
So what? He scored 5 goals. Jared
He's
Bowen.
a CDM, Dal. He's not going to score. We're not going to be on this. I love it.
Okay, he's not going to score. But what's he? But $100 million to do what?
I think he's a big upgrade. Personally,
a big upgrade.
I think he's going to fit into where Xhaka. I think he's going to. There's many factors to this deal. I think he's a massive upgrade on where Xhaka plays. I think that's where we're going to try to slot him in. He's a box to box. He's a captain. He's a leader, and that is someone. He is a player that legitimately and knows to wear the armband. I would happily give the if I was Odegaard, I'd be like, yeah, this ain't for me. I'm giving it to Declan Rice. However, the price side of things, I completely agree with. He's not worth. Every Arsenal fan knows this guy isn't worth 100 million. However, we all knew for a fact that West Ham were not going to sell this guy for at least 100. We knew that for a fact. Like, as Arsenal knew, I think realistically, Arsenal said to themselves, this guy's worth between 70 and 80. And that is why they went in with 80 originally, even though they shouldn't have, because West Ham did give a goal out of what they want from Declan Rice. And unfortunately, we can't control the price tag that West Ham said. No doubt, I agree with why you're fuming with the price tag. I completely understand, because it is a lot of money and it is our record signing now. But I'm not going to lie. We wanted world-class players, and in my opinion, Declan Rice can or is a world-class player.
On the doorstep.
I don't see where you guys see the world-class at. I don't see it. I think he's a very good player. He's strong. He's fast. I get that. He's a leader. But for $100 million, because we're paying the English tax, you guys. Yeah, we're paying the English tax.
You got to pay the play. You got to pay the play. And now we've been arguing about this, and we've been complaining about how Arsenal will not pay the bills to get it over the line, and now they're finally fucking doing it.
I get that, but $100 million for Declan Rice isn't the $100 million I want. The $100 million I want is someone like Mbappe. I mean, I know Mbappe.
Oh, you're not going to get Mbappe for that.
Neymar. I mean, come on, let's go snip, Rodri or somebody. I know I'm in La La Land, but it's for following this club now, well, let's see, another year, for about 24 years now, it's like it's ridiculous to spend that much money because we will have success with other players. Joseph Fofana, go get him. Guendouzi. I mean, I know that ain't going to happen. There's other players, other leagues that I think for less money can do the same thing. I really do. And I think we're spending a lot of money on the English tax. And I just like to see spending that money on one player.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know, man.
I mean, that's fair.
Ideally, we should.
And like Connor said, we all know deep down he's not a $100 million player. But at 24 years old, maybe he will be when he's 25, 26 and have that value. I just think there's other options out there that are better players, for that kind of money.
I completely agree. I do think Arsenal could have gone about it better, but at the end, we've got to look at it logistically. It was very clear that this was Arteta's top priority. Declan Rice, as soon as the season ended, I think even prior to that, I think even back in January, maybe even before that, he said to Eddie, I want Declan Rice to this football club. And I was very happy when I heard the news about him wanting to bring Declan Rice to the club. And I knew from day dot that West Ham were not going to sell that man for cheap.
Right.
He does have 2 years left. So maybe if he had 1 year, could have been a different scenario. English tax, I think, as a way to play in it. I don't understand the whole thing with English tax because you look at James Maddison. I know Leicester did get relegated, but 40 mil, that isn't a lot. And you'd think of English tax, you'd think it'd be more expensive, but hey, it is what it is.
Yeah.
And,
Listen,
listen, we could have gone about it better. I hope that these three, because if we're going to be real, Havertz has already been announced. The video's got leaked. I think once Declan Rice is done, Timber will be done in the next week, maybe. So that's 3 signings, and I do think Rice is going to sign because although people are saying hold on, I do think it's going to happen. If not, it is the biggest slap in the face in the world. But I do think it's going to happen. Now, in my opinion, I think we're going to take a bit of a break from incomings because we've just spent a lot of money in a couple of weeks. We have.
Good.
We've spent a lot of money in a couple of weeks. I know. But we now need to make some outgoings because there's a lot of dross in this team. And it needs to be worked on. So I hope that as much as I do want to see some more incomings, we've got to get rid of something because we've got to make some profit back, guys. Because let's be honest, as much as people think the Cronkies are spending all this money, it's not. It's our budget we have every season. We're going to spend about 200 mil of it because 105, Timber. It's going to be about over 200 million. We're going to need to make some of that money back. Whether that's selling Partey, we're going to get some of the money from Granit Xhaka. Maybe for some other positions, Besiktas looking at Rob Holding, that could be maybe 5 mil, making some money back and then going back in for some players. But we've got to, that's a right back / maybe CDM sorted because of Timber. Apparently, you can play CDM. I wouldn't play him at centre back because I've heard he ain't great at centre back. That's a right back sorted. So that could mean maybe Tomiyasu's out, bit of money. That's a DM sorted in Declan Rice. And that's a attacking mid sorted in Kai Havertz, which is debatable. Or maybe even a second striker, as people are saying.
Do you think we're going to get Arda Güler in? The guy from Fenerbahce?
Yeah, I saw. Can I be honest with you? It's not an Arsenal window without a youngster being signed.
Right.
And I'm not going to lie to you, haven't heard of the fella. I saw the statement from Mesut Ozil. Like, if you could think of someone who's like Mesut Ozil, talking about himself, it's this fella from Fenerbahce. I mean, listen, I'm all for youngsters coming in, but, we look at someone like Fabio Vieira, cost us 35. I think this guy's going to cost us 25 million, something like that. I've never heard of him. Never seen him. But then again, I didn't hear of Martinelli until we signed him. So, hey, that's it, what it is. But look, even Tony says it perfectly there. The money that we could be getting for possibly Balogun, who's leaving, who we should be selling for a hefty fee, in my opinion, maybe 35, 40. We need to bring another midfielder in, Caicedo. So that if we think about it logistically, if we do bring Declan Rice and obviously Havertz is coming in, the midfield options are Declan Rice, Jorginho at the moment. So Declan Rice, Jorginho, Havertz, Odegaard. Who am I missing? Partey's still technically here. That's 5. Vieira 6. I guess you could say Smith Rowe is a 7, but I'd rather play Smith Rowe at wing. if we get rid of Partey and Fabio Vieira, we're down to 5 or 4 or 5. We need another midfielder in. That's what I'm trying to say. And and Caicedo, I thought when the news came out that we withdrew from him, I thought, okay, that's it. Chelsea have already got him. That's going to happen in the next couple of days. They haven't even put a bid down yet.
Right.
So if we do end up and being speedy with these outgoings, because I think we should be, especially if once Declan Rice is actually confirmed, Xhaka should be out the door straight away. Like literally immediately. No messing around. No, we're waiting for him actually to arrive to the club. No, it's confirmed. He's coming. Get rid of Xhaka because that's 25 mil already in the bank. I think Pablo Mari's already gone for 5 million. I think he's already gone to Monza. Just hasn't been confirmed yet. And don't forget, we've got all these contract extensions to announce. Like where are all the contract extensions at that have to be announced? You know, there's so much that Arsenal for some reason haven't done recently.
Yeah, they don't have the kit. They don't have the tracksuit ready yet. That's
exactly. And they got to get the
right. Ian Wright's schedule is super booked right now. He's coming to America. You know,
100%. But to wrap up, there's still, in my opinion, there's still business to be done. I'm just worried that now we spent about 200 million in just a couple of weeks. I'm now worried that we're not going to do incomings for a while. I'm a bit worried about that, but we'll wait and see. I'm just happy with Rice. I'm happy. I'm very happy. I'm very happy, guys. Big up to Elias as well.
Yeah, Elias. We weren't sure Elias was going to be able to make it, so we're happy to have him here. Yeah. Elias, we're still talking about the almost, but hopefully, certainly over the line, but not quite over the line signing of Declan Rice at Arsenal. How does this make you feel as a Spurs fan, since we're going to do the double over you again this season? Just give us your thoughts.
Whoa, where's the optimism coming from, by the way? Double over us and all that. Is that coming from Mikel Arteta? I don't know.
Oh my, okay. We're not talking about Mikel Arteta. We're talking about Declan Rice. We're talking about
but he's the manager.
Talking about our team actually getting the business done for a change, potentially.
No, I think in my opinion that whole Declan Rice deal he's a great player, but like 105 million guys, don't you think like West Ham are demanding way too much? I mean, I'll compare that deal with, let's say, the James Maddison deal that we are trying to get done over with, which we just paid like 40 million, and I feel like it's a bargain.
You're playing a relegation team to get
even then but if you look at the quality of the player, maybe 30 million extra, something like that, 80 million, but the amount that West Ham are asking for Declan Rice is way beyond borders. Like what is he special about? Like, has he ever like won, like, let's say the best creative player of the year award or something? No.
He has nothing special.
I think he's been in the very crap West Ham team.
Yeah,
and I think that's really undershown what he can do. When I've watched him for England, because he's around stars in my opinion, I think he's been pretty solid. You know, when we what was the last competition, the World Cup? I thought he was very solid for England, and he's our main staple in England at CDM. I think he's getting a lot. I get the price tag. The price tag I understand, but the player I think is fantastic, and he's an upgrade on Granit Xhaka, a possible upgrade on Thomas Partey. And he's a leader. TJ, how many times have I done streams of you crying for leadership in this team? And he is
every stream?
Probably. And he is it. Yeah. And he's got attributes that we need.
I love you guys.
He's just gone ahead and won a European title, which we haven't. And people can say it was the Conference League. It's still a European title. And he's done it. You know?
Yep.
And that's that. And he's won. He has been a part of a side that's won their first trophy in 43 years. Or was it longer than that?
Something like that.
So he's got something to go off, and he's an England starter. Never gets dropped. There's a lot on his CV, man.
I know, Connor, you're rubbing the European title in my face. I get it.
Oh yeah. Well, you guys, you're not in Conference League next season.
The only cups in Tottenham Hotspur Stadium are being served at the concession stands. Big up everybody in the chat. By the way, we got all these legends in there. We got Cardis. Cardis in here. Cardis is new. Make sure you're smashing a sub, everybody. We are 4 subs away from 350. 4. I don't mean to micromanage like that, but if you're new, make sure you're subbing. We are, once we get to 500, everybody. Once we get to 500, I'm telling you, it's going to be absolute scenes. So big up everybody inside. BVB David, Hendon Gooner, Mama Flossie, the best mod on all internet, all channels,
big up
everywhere you go. So all right, so let's switch gears just a tad because I know we're going to come back to Arsenal. Let's talk about James Madison. Let's talk about James Madison.
I think we've got to talk about someone else, TJ, quickly.
What do we got to talk about? What are we talking
Munich,
about?
Harry Kane.
Oh, Bayern Munich. Okay, yeah, we can talk about that first.
Massive.
Well, Elias just winced. If this gets over the line, I'm going to tell you right now that Spurs will not replace him. Spurs will not replace him, either by community or committee or whatever, or single player. They will not do it, and they will finish 13th or lower.
Yeah.
Well, Harry Kane's finally getting a move to a big club, so
yeah. Congratulations, Harry.
Levy didn't want to let him go originally. He's like, any offer that comes in from him, we're going to reject. And I'm just thinking about it. I'm thinking, this guy's on a free next year. Cash in for him now, or you're screwed. Because he's not going to renew at Tottenham. He's not. Because I'm sorry, if Harry Kane has any respect for himself, and I know we all hate Tottenham here, and we're all rivals, but I'm being truthful here. If he has any respect for himself, he will leave Tottenham because they're not in Europe next season, and he is definitely a top-tier European player. He needs to win some silverware. And let's be real now, at Bayern Munich, he's already won silverware before he's even got there. Because they win the league.
He's guaranteed. He's guaranteed the Bundesliga.
He is guaranteed silverware,
Right.
and that is what Harry Kane needs in the CV. If I was him, I wouldn't put Premier League top goal scorer over silverware because if you're going to think about it, I thought you're going to remember yourself more for lifting some trophies. Well, then again, biggest Premier League goal scorer is a massive stat, but he's got to win some silverware in his career, and Bayern Munich is the place to go. Levy's just got to stop being so stingy and sell him. He's got to sell him for the better of the club, and in my opinion, for the better of Harry Kane.
Right, and that's a 100 million player to me, Connor. Like that, would you just 30 goals last season in a shit team and being a top scorer?
That's a lot more than 100 million.
That credits to a 100 million, $125 million player, right?
1 year.
And
he's one of the best shooters in world football. He's one of the best shooters.
I know he's a striker and different than Declan Rice and older and more experienced, but that even makes Declan Rice price more ridiculous because Harry Kane really is a $100 million player plus.
They provide different services now.
It's like bewildered that that we're actually putting in a bid for that. And I realize there's some people in the chat says there's a market, West Ham need the money, blah blah blah. I get it, but the fact remains that there's an English tax on Declan Rice, and we're paying over the odds for an above average player that has a Conference Cup and some leadership ability. So that's what I mean when I mean 100 million Harry Kane, 70 million Declan Rice.
I have a question for you. I have a question for you, Dal. Then I have a question. Would you rather take Party and his glass legs,
right,
or spend the money on Declan Rice? Does he improve the squad? That's I guess my question.
Yes, but with that money, you can get two very good players for 50, 60 million.
I'm not looking for very good.
But better, possibly better than Declan Rice. Joseph Fofana. There's one right there. CDM, French international. Caicedo
is not as good as
why didn't we go get someone like Fofana and Caicedo for the same amount of money as Declan Rice?
Yeah. And Jaminho, I gotta call this out. Jaminho, you've been cussing Rice in my chat since I started this YouTube channel. I can't listen to your opinions on Declan Rice.
Jaminho's my boy for
we love you.
He prefers great.
We love you.
So many people, so many players have left Ireland for England. And I'm Irish myself, but I'm from England, but I'm half Irish. But it's not an uncommon thing. Like, let's be real, if you guys played for Ireland, you got the offer to go to England, you take it. And there's no disrespect to where you came from originally. It's what everyone does. Scottish players sometimes come from England. It's not an unregular thing. So maybe tone it down a little bit, Jimmy.
Just a question, guys.
Go ahead, Elias.
Is Declan Rice a homegrown player as well, or was he brought up in the Irish setup?
No, I think he started off at West Ham. He's always been at West Ham, so I take he was.
Then I guess that gives an edge as well in the price as well, like the whole homegrown. Like you have a homegrown player of that quality.
100%.
Makes sense.
100%. Yeah, he's been at West Ham fully, so that's probably upped his price as well. He's a homegrown talent, but he's going to be class. I'm telling you, he's going to be class, especially in the Champions League run.
I have some doubts. I just hope he doesn't get cropped. That's my.
And he's not. I don't think he's injury prone either. I don't think he's an injury prone player.
Right, but it just takes Connor a second of madness, right, and that's it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly.
Go on, TJ. I'm just trying to bring some perspective. That there's 2 or 3 good players. I know they're out in the market that we could have brought in that are Arsenal type players for that much money. I just think it's a lot of money and it's a slight risk on a very good player, but there's really no guarantee that he's going to be this extreme CDM, right, TJ? That
I understand.
All powerful, and he's going to replace Party and wear a cape and shit.
I'm not saying that he's Jesus. I'm just saying that he's better than what we have, and we pay. And we're finally showing. I think I'm more excited about the fact that we're finally showing some freaking intent here.
And that I get too.
Like
I get too.
Yeah. So I think that's where a lot of my excitement comes from here.
And that's some of my excitement too. To be honest, to even be thrown around with a couple players that Man City are after, Man United, Liverpool, etc. I mean, yes, we want to be in that mix for those top tier players. That I agree with 100%. But I'm still, a little put back by the price for Declan Rice when there's other options.
Yeah. But TJ, just curious, just having the Declan Rice deal done, do you think that pretty much solves more or less the problems that you guys have in your squads, or there are other issues that you think?
There's still plenty of other issues. So we got Timber coming in too. So that'll help bolster our fullback position, which we need, but we still need another. In my opinion, we still need an all-and-out striker, and we still need depth at center back, minimum.
Yeah.
Do you think that you guys would be able to then spend that much, given the amount that you guys are spending for Declan Rice for those positions? Then
we need to sell. We need to
sell. Yeah, that's what you're saying.
That should be our priority now. That's got to be our priority now. When all these 3 get announced, that has got to be priority now. We've got to sell because there's so much dross in this team, and they're not worth a lot, but we could probably build up a bit of money to carry on. And I'm going to repeat it again. I've seen a lot of tweets saying, "Oh, this is all to do with Stan Kroenke and all this stuff, all these deals." It's not. This is the budget we have pretty much every single year. Go check it on Transfer Market. This is what we get given every single season, practically. Maybe even less than that. We probably get given more, but we just spend less, maybe save it for January. This is even Jez has said it multiple times, and he knows more about Arsenal than probably all of us combined. He is an absolute genius when it comes to Arsenal, and he knows exactly what's going on. We get given this budget every single year, and we've just spent half of it on a player. And good. Well, not good, but he is a player that I wanted. Maybe not the price tag that I wanted, but I wanted him, so we've got him. Well, fingers crossed we've got him. But once these 3 players come in, which is big in a month, the fact we brought in 3, in my opinion, decent players, solid, in my opinion. I know people don't like the idea of Kai Havertz, and I can completely understand why. And again, I'm trying to move price tag away from it and looking at the player. I think it's not a bad move. It's not the best move, of course, but it's not bad. And I think Timber, it's quite funny that United wanted him badly, and we've just sort of snatched him off them. And I think he could be good for us at right back. He's got experience in Europe, in Champions League with Ajax, so I think he's solid. And of course, Declan Rice. So 3 good players. I want more. I want possibly 2 more signings to come in, preferably up front. Striker's got to be a priority. And I look at Timber. He can play centre back, but apparently he ain't great. But we do need a midfielder as well. So I'm between midfielder and centre back, but we need to sell. Yeah,
Connor. After we sell, he has a twin brother named Quentin Timber who's supposed to be very good too in midfield. So if we can get a snip on him, I don't know how much he's worth, obviously, but I think there's maybe a shout there. Maybe in the next few weeks, once we wrap up year end, maybe we'll get Quentin in, because I think we need midfield alternatives. Kai Havertz ain't going to cut it. But again, Super Declan Rice can play anywhere in the midfield.
I want to ask you a question, Dal. Are you feeling about your boy Thuram made a free move to Inter Milan, I saw, and you really wanted him at Arsenal? Are you feeling?
I'll tell you, he's very good in FIFA, and it broke my heart.
He was fantastic last season. He was absolutely fantastic.
Milan got a good striker. I think he'll probably play, hopefully, in front of start over Lukaku, I would think.
Yeah,
but let's like TJ said, let's talk about James Maddison some more. TJ,
I would love to talk about James Maddison some more and get some thoughts from Elias on here. Big up, and by the way, if you haven't subscribed to Elias, subscribe to Step Up Spurs right now. Elias is a real one. He has some questionable team selections, but we let all types on this channel. You're a Spurs fan, Elias. Why did you do that to yourself? Anyway,
Yes,
Elias, I wanted to hear what you thought about James Madison. Yeah, the price for the player is good, but you're also buying from a relegation team. I think that he instantly improves Spurs midfield. What do you think?
Oh, I think it definitely does. I think, in my opinion, since Dele Alli turned like prime shit, and then since Ericsson left us, we have been asking for the creative attacking midfielder for the last 3 years, 3 seasons, I would say. And then since Ericsson left us, we never had that good of a free kick taker as well. Like some of them, they came in, and then like Poro seems to be good. But then nobody, like you can say that yes, he's your designated free kick taker, somebody who can really create. I would love to see Kane and Madison play together if that's possible. I hope that we can see something like that. But I mean, from what I'm hearing right now, like Kane has agreed the personal terms with Bayern and all that. It may not be possible. But Kane and Madison together, I think it would be a great combination in terms of goals, and in terms of creativity as well. And then you already got Son, and you already have Kulusevski. With a little bit of improvement on the defense, I think it would massively improve the Spurs team, in my opinion. Uh, because one problem that Spurs have been having from since the last 2 seasons, firstly is our creativity. Like we don't know where the goals are coming from. If you want to score from the middle, like it has always been Son and Kane and their combined play. If you want to score the goals from the midfield, there's nobody who can create. Then the second problem has always been your center backs. That problem was never addressed. So this window,
Sorry, Eric Dyer.
I don't know who Edgar Davids is, by the way.
I don't know who that is either.
I also don't know. So then the other thing is that if you can just work on towards your center backs, and you can improve the defense as well. That was another issue that we faced over the last 3 seasons or so, with the likes of Dyer, Sanchez, Langley, and all that shit. So if we manage to solve that, I think you pretty much have a much more improved Spurs team. However, I would have loved to see that under a manager like Conte or Mourinho, but unfortunately, it's under Postecoglou. But it is what it is, so we'll have to accept it. I think James Madison, I was just comparing his stats. Creativity wise, he's I think only behind Kevin De Bruyne, and the other player who is kind of ahead of him is to a certain extent in Prem is Bruno Fernandes. I think other than that, nobody. And certain stats, Martin Odegaard is ahead of him, but even then, not particularly overall, he's ahead. So he's pretty much like a very great signing, in my opinion, if you ask me.
I wish we would have been in on him. I'm honestly a little pissed that we weren't, to be honest, at that price too. I would have taken him. I'm gonna shatter the world here. I would have taken James Madison over Kai Havertz any day of the week.
Kai Havertz, yes.
Day of the week.
A report has come out from Jacob Steinberg, who's a pretty reliable source.
Please don't ruin my day.
Oh no, Declan Rice is fine. This is to do with
Timber.
This is to do with Timber. The price has gone up. Apparently, we have agreed we're close to agreeing a deal with £50 million for this guy, and apparently our next target is Lavia from Southampton. And I'm like,
if we take Lavia, then we're probably going to move. We're going to look to move Jorginho. What?
Lavia's worth about 40 million. Southampton are valuing him at, and he's been relegated. Like, it's just like
he's young. He's young. What were you going to say, Dal?
I was going to say that Xhaka to Leverkusen, should that bring Diaby our way? I thought there was talk about that.
I'd love Diaby at Arsenal. He'd be fantastic.
But I haven't heard much about that except for a few weeks ago, and I don't. That's why I kind of think like the Declan Rice move is going to set off, everything. I think once the Rice move happens or another big move happens, everything else is going to settle in, And as of regards to James Madison, like Elias was saying, I think he's 100% right. Spurs have really missed that player between the striker and the central mid. They've never really had that anchor CAM player that can really get creative on the ball like Odegaard can. And James Madison's going to open up a lot of options for them, especially if Son stays and Kulusevski stays healthy. Madison and Kulusevski could be a very formidable pair. But it really depends on the striker you get, Elias. I mean, if you guys get another shit Saldado or somebody like that, James Madison's not going to have anyone to pass to. So, besides James Madison, you have a lot of money left over. What striker right now would you bring in over Kane?
Vlahovic. I love that guy from Juventus.
Vlahovic and Madison could work well together. You think there's a synergy there between those two?
Sorry?
You think there's like a synergy between those two? You think Madison and Vlahovic can really communicate and score goals together?
Yes. So the thing about Vlahovic is, I think he works well with a center attacking midfielder as well. Like the job that he was doing at Fiorentina, I was kind of impressed with him. And the way that guy times his runs and the way he's always at the right position at the right time, that's something like what we see sometimes more of like Haaland doing. He is not really a very hard worker. He has the pace as well. And then he's always at the right position at the right time. I think at Juventus, he was also missing that sort of an element, like that particular creative player. He didn't have someone like James Madison or that sort of quality at Juventus to provide the goals for him. So if Vlahovic were to come to Spurs, I think we can do well. But I'm seriously hoping that somehow these bids from Bayern don't go over 100 million. Because if a bid goes over 100 million, I think Daniel Levy would sell Kane. But if the bids stay below 100 million, I think Kane is staying. And from what I'm reading also, despite the fact that Kane has a great personal terms, Daniel Levy is not willing to sell him this summer as well.
So he's gonna take the $100 million loss.
I don't know what Daniel Levy is thinking.
For in a team that already is risking finishing outside of Europe. Like realistically, I don't see you guys getting back into Europe next season.
What's the point in
having this? By the way,
what's the point in keeping Kane next season if you're not in Europe?
Exactly.
Exactly
my point.
I think if Kane stays, and we address the issues, like let's say we buy some decent center backs, there's a high chance that we will be back in Europe, because next season you have 5 European spots. I think that the European spot would be a possibility for Champions League even. I think if you have Kane and Madison, you have center backs issues solved. You have Pedro Porro on the side and you have Destiny Udogie on the other. You have a solid team there that can compete for the European spots. No doubt there. But then you also have to see like what would Ange Postecoglou bring into the Premiership as well. So at the moment it's hard to predict, but if Kane stays, there's a highly possible chance that we will, I think, end up in Europe. Top 5 is doable.
I can't believe that.
Top 5 is doable.
Doesn't 5th get you Champions League next season?
Easy, Chris Cowlin. Easy, Elias Cowlin.
No.
They got
top 4, top 5.
in the building.
Kane stays, I've given a suggestion. If Kane stays and James Madison is playing as well, and then you solve the center back issues, then it's possible. If you still have the shit center backs around, and then you have the still crap there, and then Kane leaves, then no way we are actually gonna get Europe.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
I think that Vlahovic is a very, very going to be a very difficult target for you guys to get in.
I wouldn't.
You guys should be looking at someone like Ollie Watkins.
Jonathan David.
Jonathan David would be a good shout.
Now you guys are just taking the
Stram is gone, but
what?
Nah. No, we are not taking the fucking piss, Elias. No, we are not. No, we are not, brother. No, you're.
I think okay. If you say that yes, we want to bring in a striker to just fill in a stopgap there, then maybe yes, Ollie Watkins and Jonathan David may do the job. But
gaps.
But if you say that yes, someone to replace Harry Kane and bring in that sort of quality or something of that sort of a potential, then I think that's where Vlahovic or a player like Tony or someone like that has to come into the equation.
Are we forgetting they've got a world-class striker in Richarlison there? Like,
he's Brazil's number 9, baby. Richie.
God, I forgot all about that.
Richarlison.
Bastard.
Listen, they just brought in Kulusevski. They just got Kulusevski back. on the permanent, I believe Spurs have.
Yep.
They're starting to get rid of the deadwood. Harry Winks has just been shipped off to Leicester for 10 million, which is by far a mad sum of money. I'm like, for Harry Winks, 10 million, that's a good bit of business there. Yeah. Do you know what? Yeah, and I agree with that. Vlahovic is a bit of a weird one because when we tried to sign him, was it last year? He said he wanted to stay in Italy, but now all of a sudden he doesn't want to be there all of a sudden.
You know who else said he wanted to stay in Italy? Sandro Tonali.
Yeah, okay, we're not talking about Sandro Tonali. We're talking about that last week.
We don't talk about small shit clubs.
We gotta talk about Paratici. Paratici, the Italian job, everybody. It is Paratici is hanging in there like Godfather 3. We were talking about this on Tottenham away the other day. Sorry. Paratici is pulling the strings. I would not be surprised at all to see like a Duslan or more Italian players come into Spurs. Like we were saying on Tottenham away, he left like a document open that everybody has access to that he's just giving.
Yeah.
I think it's hilarious.
The Dusan Vlahovic one, when he went to Juventus, I think it was always his dream to play for Juve. Like he sort of like admired that particular team, and everybody know that yes, he wants to go to Juve. He actually even rejected certain moves, even though certain teams were
Arsenal.
Yes,
Steve, I will ban you.
Yeah. So, Steve, are you high on sugar?
Yeah, she kicked him.
He's in the thin bin now. He's in
Yeah.
the thin bin.
So
2 minutes.
So when Vlahovic
put your finger down, I'll let you back in. Okay, there you go.
Genau.
When Vlahovic went to Juve, I think that was more of like the favoritism there. I think nothing more than that. But right now he's realizing that Juve is just shit right now, so he wants to get out, and he can't play that freely. The freedom that he had in the Fiorentina team, I don't think he has that in Juve as well.
Well, Juventus don't play football under Allegri. They play defense and then in possession, give it to Rabiot and then give it to Vlahovic. Oh no, sorry, I forgot the other step. Give it to Kostic, and then Kostic will spam crosses into the box. And then it results really in fuck all. I mean them in open play were fucking awful. I swear to God, in open play goals and stuff, they were fucking shit. They were horrible.
Steve, what's your opinion on Madison going to Spurs? Real talk. What's your opinion?
Good signing.
Yeah. You were meant to get him.
I said from the start. Because we were linked with Szoboszlai and James Madison. I said from the start I prefer Szoboszlai.
Is now apparently going to Liverpool.
But apparently Valverde is linked with fucking. So
and Mbappe's been linked with 300 million.
Yeah. And I'm getting a date with Alex fucking.
I knew Alex Morgan was coming.
You fucking knew it.
By the way, that's actually a really, really good plug. Speaking of the United States national teams, I am doing a watch along with Will Stewart this weekend. I believe what time is that game?
We're playing not Haiti, Guatemala,
Trinidad and Tobago.
TNT.
Watch along. And that'll be, I believe, at 7 or 8 Central.
I'll join if y'all ain't.
1 a.m.
Can I ask a quick question? Is bringing up Alex Morgan irregular when Steve comes on to shows or something?
Yes,
I mean, she's gorgeous, and like it's a transfer target that I'm monitoring.
He always makes the metaphor of, oh yeah, this will happen, and then I have a better chance of getting a date with Alex Morgan, even though. Man, I've known about Alex. I've known about Alex Morgan since you were in elementary school.
Yeah, and she's been stunning since you were in fucking.
I know. I was at CSU when she was in UCLA, man. Oh,
thank you.
Anyway, she's great. Anyway, I will be doing watch-alongs for the U.S. women's team as well. Just gonna say, hey,
I thought Will was on a trip out of town for
he's calling in from his trip. We're gonna simulcast it. So me, Will Stewart, and I guess Steve, if you want to join.
Does Rapinoe still play for the American women's team? She's still there. Megan Rapinoe.
Yep.
Rapinoe. Yep. You mean the political activist? Yeah, she's still balling for us.
Yeah, she's a political activist that absolutely balls.
Yeah,
she balls. She's one of our best. She's one of the best players ever for us.
France in the
Yeah, she's incredible. But we're not going to get into the politics here. But just shameless plug. I will be doing United States men's and women's teams watch-alongs all summer long. So if you're up in the middle of the night in the UK, come on by. Yep. Come on, by.
And you want to watch Jordan Morris be a fucking shitbag player, then you could do that at 3 a.m. in the UK if you can be
At least we didn't start like
he's so fucking terrible.
Carter Vickers or anything like that. We didn't get that. But if you guys want to know how the quality of the United States men's team that we're going to be seeing on tonight and Sunday, Tim Turner is the captain. So that's all you need. Tina Turner is the captain. Yep. Good luck. Good luck to the USA.
That's not the biggest. The biggest problem was that Aaron Long played. That's the biggest fucking problem. He's a bag of shit too.
I don't know who the hell you guys are even talking about.
Yeah, they're
you
MLS,
don't need to.
They're MLS dross.
Neither do I.
Yeah, that's why.
You told me earlier, TJ, why can't Balogun play in the game? Is he not eligible?
He didn't get called up.
No, so all right. Let me.
He played in the Nations League final. We won the Nations League. So here's how we operate. We let our and Steve, you can feel free to correct me if I'm wrong here. We play our drafts in like group stage,
Gold Cup
like matches. But once we get to the knockout rounds, then we'll start playing flow.
Right,
then we'll start playing McKinney. Then we'll start playing who's a what's it's and who's a what's.
No, TJ. They're not even in the squad for it. We can't call up Pulisic.
We could go Pulisic up after we get out of the group stage.
We can?
I thought we could. Why would we not play them? We're going to win
because here's the reason. Here's the reason why.
Educate me. You know better than I do.
Look at our squad. It's a bunch of MLS and Sonora who plays in Liga MX in Mexico. They don't let the big hitters of the U.S., the European-based ones, because think about it. Pulisic is going to be playing for Chelsea in the preseason if he's still there in 3 weeks, right? And he's also got to sort out his future in terms of.
You've got some right talent in the team. To be fair, I know you don't play that great, but to be fair, I'm looking for your squad. And
Robinson, I love Anthony Robinson.
So you got goalkeepers are a bit shady because Matt Turner's a bit hit and miss. Who am I looking at here?
Matt Turner's really good at penalties, by the way. That's how Arsenal.
Miyazaga played for Chelsea. Anthony Robertson, Austin trusted the process. James Sands, he was apparently one Premier League.
He was at Rangers. Rangers, and they couldn't fucking figure out if they wanted to play him as a center back or a CDM when he's clearly a fucking CDM.
What's happened to Serginho Dest? He's there.
Dest is still balling. He's just got to find a club.
Chris Richards is suspended after that Mexico game. He saw red too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So you've got some white players. It's just you don't have a full team of good players, you know. But,
yeah.
No, bro. For me, like
better than Ireland.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, you're setting the bar really high there.
Germinho's just going on.
Where are you guys ranked? The world's nations. Do you know where you guys are ranked? It's got
12th.
Is it 12th?
Yeah.
There's no way.
Believe. Last time I checked, it was 12. Connor, you got to keep in mind the FIFA ranking. We're playing CONCACAF teams.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
there's only about 4 decent ones, and I say decent in the loosest,
pretty bad
fucking sense of the word.
Yeah, it's true. To be fair.
And we are the only. We are one of 2 CONCACAF teams in the top 15. The other is Mexico.
Yeah, aren't we 12th, DJ? 12?
13.
Yeah, there you go. Damn. We're playing fucking Guatemala, Trinidad and Tobago, St. Kitts and Nevis.
We're
Guadalupe.
And we drew. Hey, Steve, you got to give them a little bit of credit though. Our Dross team drew against a Jamaica team that's very, very strong.
That's got like 5 Premier League players in it.
I know.
The Cordova Reed, Damari Gray, Bailey.
Yeah. We played them.
Jamaica are just top heavy as fuck.
Yeah.
I mean, Nigeria is more top heavy because all they got is strikers.
So we come to the conclusion that USA nations football is awful.
Yeah, we play terrible. We
got the World Cup coming up, so you must be excited for that.
We should be in CONMEBOL. We should be in CONMEBOL. I want to be playing those teams regularly. Yeah, play Brazil.
Come on, then we won't win anything.
About USA football.
We'll get better eventually, TJ, because we're not playing fucking Guatemala.
I shouldn't have plugged it. But I will move on to plug the American Idiot Show this Friday, 9 p.m. as usual. We will be talking about your top 5 favorite movies and talking about transfer news. We can't just talk about transfers all the time. We got to talk about some other things. Otherwise, it just gets. How many times can you talk about James Madison going to Tottenham? How many times can you talk about Kane never going to move from Spurs? Right, Elias?
You're right.
Bro,
Yeah, so maybe I'll sneak in some dad jokes in your comments as well.
Oh no, you're not. You're not.
My
No,
top five
I
movie
will.
dad jokes.
I will ban you. I absolutely will ban. I will sin bin you like I just sin bin.
I've got like 20 troll accounts according to some YouTubers. I troll around and
I'm not getting into your YouTube drama. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I do not care. I do not care in this.
That's like getting involved in Middle East relations as an American, bro.
the YouTube drama at Spurs never ends.
Because then it never ends. Once you fuck with the Middle Eastern country in the 1900s, it never ends.
I agree. BX Gunner 81, welcome back, my friend. It's been a while since I've seen you. We got 20 inside. Make sure you're smashing a like. I'm 4 subs away from 350. Go ahead, Dow.
What does Tonali bring to Newcastle?
Oh God, here we go.
I mean, immediately he's our starting 6. Set pieces. The guy takes corners. Free kicks are all right too. Clean on the ball, and he's a bit nasty off it. What a fucking blend! Like this guy, this guy has some qualities of both Pirlo and Gattuso. Not the quality of Pirlo, but the attitude of a Gattuso. He's not a guy you want to fuck with. He's rough. He hangs in there with the big boys, bro. He fits the team. He fits the team to a T, honestly. Because when our team, I don't know if y'all noticed when you watch Newcastle, whenever shit starts stirring, all our guys are yelling, screaming, getting in their faces. We're like an aggressive, we got some like anger issues, kind of vibe going on. I fuck with it, bro.
When we went to you guys in May or April, like Jesus, that was probably the most hostile stadium we've been to all season.
Yeah, exactly. And that's an attitude you want to bring. You don't want to be, we're nice. Nah, bro, that's from Norwich.
The atmosphere's completely changed. 100%.
Yeah. So
that's worse.
What's your midfield 3, Steve? You're starting midfield 3.
Tonali, Bruno, and Joe.
Right.
Yeah.
Easy.
Strong team.
I agree with Mama Flossie. We need to rein in the swearing. Rein in
the swear box. You're not monetized yet, T.
Yeah, but when I do get reviewed to get monetized, they're gonna see your troll ass come on here, and they're gonna. Steve, you're not allowed to come on here without 8 hours of sleep. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh my god, the banter between TJ and Steve is actually.
You know what? No, me and Steve.
TJ is very sarcastic.
It's like a brother. I never had a brother growing up. Steve's like a brother to me. He's the Maverick. He's the goose to my Maverick. But dang, Steve, when you are tired, and I can tell you're tired because you work all night. Dang, bro. Dang. That's all I'm gonna say. Go ahead. Were you gonna say something, Elias?
No, I was gonna say you guys know each other for quite long, is it?
No, I met him on here. But
I've known TJ a little bit longer than you, Elias, probably.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Probably about the same. I don't know, 7 months.
Absolutely. We got almost 30 likes. Let's get it up to 35 before the end of the stream. We're gonna probably go for another 15 minutes because we got to send. A lot of the people are gonna probably be jettisoning and going over to Jess's stream. Go over to the American history, or not American history.
Oh, Jaminho sad with Declan Rice is
Arsenal history and more. Go over there, support our boy Jez.
Steve, have you been having Malibu a lot lately?
Huh?
Have you been having Malibu a lot lately?
No, I haven't drank since the fucking 24 hours stream, bro. Who the fuck?
Good Lord, Steve.
Who do you think?
Let's throw a transfer in there because I want to know about this one. I'm curious.
By the way, Connor, what shirt are you wearing today?
I'm currently wearing a Barcelona shirt. I have a good reason for it. So my mum just got back from Barcelona, and great! I got you a surprise because obviously they just knocked down the Camp Nou, and I think this might be last season's home strip. And yeah, she picked me up a kit there. €60 this cost. €60. And over here it costs 120 or 110 pounds. It's ridiculous. Yeah. Currently wrapping a Barcelona shirt, and this now means if Arsenal were crap this season, I am going on loan to Barcelona. I'm going on, 100.
Connor, you finally see my side of things. God damn, finally.
I'm going on to the best Spanish.
Thank you. It's literally a different league.
Have enough teams to be on loan to everybody.
Yeah,
That's what
literally.
we're going for.
100%. We got look,
Just-
right now. Steve can either go on loan to Newcastle, Bayern Munich, or Strasbourg. Like he's literally
Yeah.
everywhere.
I might go to loan on the team where Kane would go. Probably.
100%. Go, yeah, Bayern Munich.
Yeah, Bayern Munich. Yeah, why not?
Probably.
Yeah.
Big up
No.
to Seymour Butts. Yeah, I took the CES group. Big up. Yeah, that's what I've done. Took the CES group. Yeah, I want to throw this in. Mason Mount to Man United. What's your thoughts on it, guys? Because I
Crap.
think it's, just wrong
Crap.
move in general.
Crap transfer.
Is that a club signing or is that a Ten
What
Hag
do you think
signing?
of Mason Mount?
Ten Hag.
I think it's a club signing. I
Why
think it's
would-
a club signing.
Oh, okay. Yeah. See, that's the question because it doesn't make sense to me. So why do you think it's a Ten Hag, Steve?
You know why it's a Ten Hag signing? Because this brother loves Eredivisie players, and he was coaching Ajax when Mason Mount was on loan at Vitesse Arnhem, and he probably liked him. That's probably why.
Ten Hag's building an
Possible.
Eredivisie side. He's building an Eredivisie side.
But I don't understand. Sorry, Steve, go ahead first.
I was just gonna say I like it because the Eredivisie is a good league with a lot of talent in it, and I understand why he's building an Eredivisie All-Star 11. I get it because he don't really got he's working with dumbasses, but yeah, I mean that's probably why because he saw him at Vitesse and was like, oh, I like this guy. I think he was better at Vitesse than he was at Chelsea, to be honest. I really do. He actually made an impact in games and actually developed, but it is what it is. I don't know. I think the signing is a hell of a waste of money. Ten Hag could find midfielders in the Eredivisie that can do what he does. It's
Right.
not that hard or complicated.
Hold
They
on.
need a CDM. They need
I'm
a
gonna pause this
CDM.
conversation. I'm gonna pause this conversation real quick because I want to give
Yeah.
Connor a chance to shout out his stuff. He has to shoot off. Thanks again, Connor, for starting the show and all you're doing for my channel. We got big things coming, big guests that we'll talk about at the end of the stream here. But yeah, go ahead and shout yourself out.
Yeah, by the way, the one that I just said in private chat, that is next Friday. So whether you want to change that around, I will be able to do it for you. But just let you know, TJ.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it.
So thanks very much for having me on. Big up to the panel as well, of course. And Steve and Elias, nice to have you guys back on.
Big up, bro.
Now as well, and of course TJ. Yeah, you can find me on Instagram, cmo.editing. It's all there. Proper.arsenal. It's my other Arsenal account where I post some Arsenal news now and then. I'm a graphic designer, so feel free if you need any designs for your YouTube channels or social media, feel free to hit me up on there, and I'm happy to work with anyone. I've just done TJ's new banner, so he's got that up now, and I'm currently working with Mr. B next because he wants to start up a cricket channel. So I'm going to be doing stuff for him there as well. So big up to everyone, and I think I'm on American Idiots on Friday.
You are.
So, I'm looking forward to that. And big up to everyone, man.
Would you do stuff for Spurs channels as well? Just curious.
100%. I work with anyone. It doesn't matter if it's Spurs. I'm happy to work with absolutely anyone.
It's football, bro.
You're gonna have to pay him though.
It won't dirty your screen
Extra.
or anything.
No
like
extra.
that, right?
No. You got to pay a premium. If
You got to pay an extra price. If you're a Spurs fan, you do have to pay an extra price. I'm taking that. Like I said, shit. Hit me up in the DMs
Just
if you need help with anything, and I'm happy to work with anyone, bro. Anyway,
Okay, just put it in your leg.
no worries, man. All right, well, take care, everyone. Big up to the chat, and I'll
See you,
see you
man.
next time. Big up to TJ, man.
Check out
See you
Connor,
later.
bro.
Big up.
Take care,
Yeah,
guys.
we got about 10 minutes, and then I got to shoot as well. I just did this little work stream because because I've been working since 6, and I wanted to take a little break here. We got 19 inside. Make sure you're smashing likes and smashing subs. Again, we are 4 away from 350, and we got huge. You know what? I'm just gonna announce it now. We have huge guests coming on the American Idiot Show in the coming weeks. We're still working on some schedule. We're still working on some scheduling. So either this week, next week, or the week after. Okay. We have Flawless from Sarcasm City TV coming on July 7th.
Who's
He's
that
an
guy?
absolute legend. You might know him from, if you don't know him from Sarcasm City TV, you know him from the Back Again podcast, Troops' podcast. He's an amazing guy, really, really nice guy. Got to meet him on a call-in show, and then we did a Best of Europe 11 on Steve's channel last week.
Yeah.
A lot.
I love Flawless, bro.
Yeah, Flawless is
Good
second.
dude.
Good dude, yeah.
Yeah.
And then we have the world famous Diesel also coming on the channel. We're still working out scheduling on that, but Diesel agreed to come on the channel. He is a real one. I listened to his show yesterday, an absolute real one. He's back on YouTube. Took a little hiatus, and he's the man. So we're really looking forward to having these guys on. It's going to be a lot of fun. All right, so I wanted to bring this up just to kind of close this out. There was a comment here that I keep flashing up, but I didn't get a chance to comment on it. Tony said this: "Spend $300 million. It's not my money. Arteta has nowhere to hide after this season. Superfans are finished when he fails." I agree with this. 110%. If we bring in Declan Rice and we bring in other key positions like Timber, we bring in, another or Quinton, or bring in another out and out striker, there's no excuses. Period. We compete from now on. There's no falling out of Champions League, no falling back into Europa League, none of that. Zero of that.
No bottling
time to win. It is time to win. What do you think about that, Dal?
I think he's 100% right. Tony's my guy. I've known Tony for a while. He has nowhere to hide. I want to see us compete in the FA Cup. I want to see us compete in the League Cup. I would have taken a League Cup last season.
Yeah.
I just, again, I go back to the Declan Rice. Firmino had a chat in there too, TJ. Maybe you want to pull up at like 10-22. For the money we spent on Rice, we could have gotten a Tonali and Caicedo or something like that in. So I go back again to mixing up the money. I don't think that Declan Rice is a $100 million player. He's very good. I'll give him that. But $100 million, $105 million for one player is just a little bit of a stretch for me.
Unless you're getting like a Vinicius Jr. or something.
Yeah, right. A Vinicius.
Right. I know what you mean.
Erling Haaland.
Yeah, that would be a good
Like I said earlier to Elias, he has the value of a $100 million player. He had 30 goals that season. He has the Golden Boot. What, 2 or 3 seasons, and he's been in the Champions League final. I mean, the pedigree that Harry Kane has far outweighs the pedigree that Declan Rice has, which means Harry Kane could demand £100 million. I just don't see $105 million spent on Declan Rice as a right financial move. He's a good player.
You're always going to overpay for him, though. That's my thing. I think it's
hold on, that's the English. That's the 25 to 30% more you pay for an English player,
or just the Premier League in general. I mean, Caicedo.
I know. We could have looked at those two players. Yeah. Joseph
Benacer.
Yeah, right.
Benacer, AC Milan.
Before you
80 million for Maguire.
Other players that we could have gotten before you hopped on, Steve-O, that we could have spread out that $100 million better. However, there's a lot of people that think Declan Rice really is going to solve our problems and what we need internally as a team, not what we think he's going to produce or what he's going to do or not do, right? He's being visualized as by top gooners especially that he's the key to this puzzle. And I just don't think I believe that. He's good, but he's not great. And like I've told TJ and him and I've talked obviously many times, we need great. We cannot settle for good anymore. And that's where I kind of draw the Declan Rice line. But it looks like it's going to happen. And I'm excited that he's joining. But I want to see what $105 million is going to get us this season.
I think, bro, I feel for Declan Rice because he'll probably have an excellent season for you guys. But about the midfield, it's a team effort.
Right.
You can have outstanding individuals, but if the guy next to you just ain't at your level or near it, or if he drops off in a moment, it don't take much to lose in the big games. You need to have some support next to you in midfield. Games are won and lost there. Rice, I think, again, he'll be outstanding for you guys. He's a very good player, but he can't do it all on his own.
Well, I'd like to see him and Emerald Smith-Rowe work together,
Yeah.
I think there's some good combinations you can have with Rice in the midfield and even in attacking and in defending. I think he'll be decent as well.
He'll be.
I just
I think it'll be nice.
Start with the price tag, man. It's really just
how much would you have paid? 70, 75, 80?
Over 75. I think 75.
Yeah, I think 75 sounds a decent evaluation.
Because you still pay a little bit the English tax, but $100 million for a box-to-box mid, essentially. He's a CDM, but he's still,
ball winner, interceptions.
Well, leadership. Connor mentioned all the attributes he has, and TJ has as well. We all know that. But when we go up against Man United at Old Trafford on a dark Monday night, rain pouring down.
Yeah.
I want to see what Declan Rice can do. I
Yeah.
want to see him go up to Everton and keep them from, pushing goals. And I want to see what he can do against Brighton and Liverpool. We can only judge him until he gets in our shirt. What he did at West Ham is irrelevant the moment he signs for Arsenal.
What I will say is that it's just refreshing to see Rice because West Ham don't play like you guys. They're a lot more reserved, a lot more laid back. And even though they were laid back and all that, you saw with Rice consistently, the guy was really good. So if basically you're allowing him more, you're giving him you're putting him in an environment where he will thrive even more, you would think. Because of what we've seen. So hopefully, yeah, exactly, bro. Hopefully for y'all that works out. But for me, it's the big thing. I know he'll do his job. Will the others in midfield? Will the others?
And that's the other point too. Is if Partey stays, as Declan Rice, I know this might sound a little crazy or stupid, but if Partey stays, does Declan Rice even really start? And I know that may sound weird to some people, but at this point in time, Partey for me is still our CDM. He's not.
You can play Rice as an 8. You can play Rice as an 8.
Right, and I think the versatility, right, that we've all like or agree with or not agree with.
You could even play center back. To be fair, he broke out at West Ham as a center back.
Versatility still is
right.
Somewhat important. So
yeah.
We'll have to see until he puts the shirt on. I just hope that he doesn't get cropped in the 5th or 6th game of the season and goes out for 2 months, because that would really
because then you're screwed.
Well, essentially, we'll see.
Yeah.
But again, you spend that much on a player, that's the risk, right? So
yeah. I'm more worried about Havertz for y'all.
I'm not going to get into Kai Havertz.
My only point on him, I know TJ, you've done a show on him. I was watch a little bit, and I'll just.
By the way, has Kai Havertz lifted the shirt?
Hold on, doubt, not yet. He will.
I get going, TJ. Is that Kai Havertz is far better than Fabio Vieira. He's far better than Eddie Nketiah.
I agree.
He's far better than.
I didn't want to pay.
Right? But bringing him off the bench, I think in the 65th minute or so against mid-table teams, you're going to see a different Kai Havertz than we saw at Chelsea.
I agree off the bench, yeah.
And also, Wenger was looking at him in 2017, which was several years ago when he was still very young. This kid was in the mix for young footballer. They always do a young football of the year, right, TJ?
The Golden Boy Award.
List, right. They have a list.
Golden Boy.
Always put on that list. Havertz was on that list. I think Rice is on that list. Obviously, Vinny Jr., Neymar. So he's on a list of very big young players, and he's a very good player in Germany as well. And the more I think about it, I am a little excited because I do want to see what he can do in our colors, because he wasn't used that well at Chelsea. They didn't know where the fuck to play him. Chelsea had no clue what was going on last season. So anyway,
I feel like he's the same exact player when Chelsea bought him from Bayer Leverkusen. That's my concern.
We'll see.
And maybe Arteta could. I know.
No, I think he had a decent season for Chelsea.
No, he didn't.
Sorry.
No, he's fucking.
I think he had a decent season for Chelsea when that season Lukaku was having that whole shit. He wanted to go to Inter, and then when Chelsea started playing,
like 7 goals or something
last season.
Yeah, but still, he was playing as a false 9, and he did a decent job in my opinion.
I don't think
exactly decent. Keyword decent. Do you want to pay $65 million for decent? Or do you want to pay $65 million for someone damn good?
That's okay. So go ahead.
Sorry, TJ. But the thing is, if you go back before Chelsea at Leverkusen, he was scoring 19 goals, 17 goals. German international kid, sought by top clubs when he was like 17, 18 years old. The talent just doesn't go away because you have a shit season at fucking Chelsea.
His development, though, that's what I'm concerned about, because you can have talent, but the development aspect of it is the worrying part. But that's
we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
We just got to see till he gets on the pitch, right, in an Arsenal shirt, where he plays, how Arteta plays him. So I don't know, TJ.
So here's the thing. Here's my final thoughts on Havertz, because I'm not a fan, which is why Maddie's in here laughing at me. which is fine. I you know what? As long as people are laughing, that's all that matters to me. I'm here to entertain. But Kai Havertz, you were talking about spending too much on a player to bring for what he provides a team or what he's going to provide a team. 60 million or 65 million for Kai Havertz is an overpay. It is a ridiculous overpay for somebody who I think at best is going to be riding our bench. He has no little to no experience playing on the left, which is exactly where he will play, left center mid, if we bring him in. And he'll be able to, and Dal, he will be able to cover, Odegaard, and if we need him to come in late in a false 9 for Jesus, great. Like, that's fine. But I didn't want to pay
you might be surprised.
55 million. I would love to be surprised. I would love to be wrong. And this is the last thing I'm going to say.
Because you want to see Arsenal do well.
Exactly. But all I'm saying is guys, I will get gassed about Declan Rice because I've seen the goods, but I have not seen the goods out of Kai Havertz in the Premier League. And with that, Dal, shout your channel out. Shout us out, my man. Let's take us out because I got to go back to work.
Organ Good on YouTube, Instagram, Infamous Dal. Come and say hello. Hit me up. I'm doing some FIFA hopefully in the next couple of days with some goals. Yeah, just having some fun. A little bit of Call of Duty, but yeah, thanks again, TJ, for having me on today. I know it was kind of a split moment. I'm looking forward to Friday's show. Is going to be off the chain.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, thanks again. Thanks to everyone in the chat, the panel, Elias, Steve, Connor.
Yeah, guys.
Yeah, it was a good show. I think
incredible show.
I guess my final word is I think we've overspent for Declan Rice, but we can't really, say anything until we see him in his shirt, right? I mean, until he gets the ball, it's all just hyperbole and guessing and being mad and angry. So, yeah. Thanks again.
I agree. No, and we're not, and that's the beauty of this thing. And we keep it respectful, but we can definitely disagree on things. So big up, Dal, my co-host with the most. Both of us will be back for the American Idiot Show this week. So I'm looking forward to it.
Big up, guys.
Steve-O, shout yourself out.
Yeah, on YouTube, it's just Strasbourg Steve with a space in between. And yeah.
You're like 3 subs. You're like 3 subs off 300. We need to get you there. Like, this is ridiculous.
What?
Have you had 300 yet?
No, I'm at like 150.
No, you're close. You've blown up.
Shit.
Sorry to be the guy to tell you that. Elias, shout your channel out, man.
Yep. So you can find me at Step Up Spurs. You want me to cuss all the Spurs fans and mud some of the wrong'uns there? You want to enjoy that sort of drama?
I'm not getting involved in the Middle East. The Middle East of Spurs YouTube drama. Fuck that. It's a whole.
You want me to expose all the wrong'uns of the Spurs community? Come and watch
and the
me
brown
there.
envelopes.
And the brown envelopes
and the Epstein Island residents. Yeah.
Okay, I'm getting okay.
All
All
those
right,
people.
I'm never getting monetized. Dal, it's over. We're gonna be in the poorhouse before. But all right, guys. Thanks, Elias, for coming on. Thanks everybody for coming on.
Yeah.
Again, smash the likes. Make sure you're tuning in. We got a lot coming up. American Idiot Show Friday, 9 p.m. UK time. Let me double check because I'm gonna screw this up. One second. Then we got FIFA streams are still happening. Me and Connor are taking Arsenal to the top.
Fun. I like them. I like your FIFA streams. I enjoy them.
They're fun. They're a lot of fun, and we do our best to talk to the chat and chop it up and hang out. So actually, you know what? This will be an easy.
You guys send me an invite for some of those. TJ, I'll jump in with you guys on some career stuff.
We're playing on PlayStation though. That's the difference.
PlayStation.
You're playing on PlayStation? Yeah, then come on in. What am I talking about? Oh yeah, so all right, so midnight UK time, 6 p.m. US if you want to come and watch me, Will Stewart, possibly Steve, watch the USA take on Trinidad and Tobago. Yeah. So until then, guys, this has been TJ Warren TV with a transfer news update, and we're out.